tightrope, but we know their best men are dead. And they lack our British steel. Let us finish this ragtag army off and end this war. Hold fast! Attack! Attack!
From May 1803 to November 1815, a cascade of isolated conflicts ravaged the European continent. The turn of the century marked a watershed moment for the fate of empires, leaders, and ordinary people. Over a decade of deafening cannonades and brutal melee combat that indelibly stained the European continent with black powder. These 12 years constitute what historians call the Napoleonic Wars, a brutal theatre of war few lived to speak of. One such account, written by Corporal L.A. Rubric, serves as an illuminating testimony of such horrible days.
Hello, dear viewer. Terribly sorry to interrupt. Oh my god! Today's topic, the British Empire.
Oh my god! Get in line! This is cat now! Get in line! Get in line!
Long ago, in times forsaken by God, the lowly Britbong huddled around a fire with their family to enjoy the daily meal of sludge, unseasoned and unfulfilling. From this point forth, we yearned for flavour and were driven by rage across the channel towards foreign lands, where death in glorious battle was preferable to Kay's cooking. In time, we came to dominate a third of the world, gallivanting across the Americas and the Asias, diplomatically fattening our international renown by enslaving those we liked and killing those we didn't. And now, what do we have to show for it? 7 prime ministers in the last 10 years, a GDP that falls to Lithuanian levels without London's hard carry, and the ever-increasing cost of an ever-shrinking Freddo. I'm sorry, Brexit geezers. But we're washed, plunged into gradually worsening economic strife where employment is scarce and the comfort of a Greggs wears thin. The Britbong populace is not united by patriotic pride, but a shared yearning. We are the Cope generation, longing for days of purpose and glory, where dying of preventable illness and needless violence at the ripe old age of 25 wasn't a tragedy, but instead a meaningful societal contribution. An era of history in which being British held tangible respect, even if it was often granted after you were fucking dead. This is the very real, very historical, and very legitimate series of events that led me to the doorstep of one particular coping strategy. HOLDFAST, nations at war. At first glance, one may think HOLDFAST is a simple first and third person shooter set within the miscellaneous battles of a Napoleonic era. Yet, upon deeper inspection, you realise this is a devious disguise, because beneath the surface lies one of the most baffling multiplayer experiences I've encountered in all my many years.
Gentlemen, as we gather here today, as children and sheep of Christ, we must remember, we are God's children and we must act as if we were.
Yeah, you fucking tell them, bro. You tell them.
One that, at times, is so thoroughly British, it feels sacrilegious for a Britbong such as myself to not remark upon it. So, in lieu of other ideas that need more time to gestate and wary of the ever-shrinking time available to release this in a punctual manner, I am here to take you on a journey of bizarre discovery. So, sit back, requisition a musket for home defense, and blow a hole through the neighbour's dog like the ATF are calling, because this is the consequence I am paying for watching one Stimpy video during the summer sale.
Fire alarm.
He must have put a tech for. Oh no, they killed him! Oh my god!
Fuck you, you inbred. Fuck you, you. I'm zero between wet.
Oh my god, Italians! Now you shut up!
I feel like because Toby Fox has gone on the record saying,
Why am I rowing?
Oh, the boat!
What's
No!
happening? It's sinking.
Abandoned ship! Abandoned ship! And now we can only ever take a ship. Oh no, he's dead! Oh, fuck.
Consider sex if we're both naked and like she jacks me off.
Holdfast Nations at War is by no means a complex beast. If you've at all forayed into the last decade of popular gaming, the footage you're currently seeing is par for the course. Oh, yet another simulation of ballistic conflict? How cultured. That said, you have also likely noticed a particular novelty embedded at the heart of Holdfast's gameplay: the critical inability to hit a target more than 2 feet away.
Shit, I missed the point blank. I missed the point blank.
Unlike what you've come to expect, defying the A-list cast of M4A1s and AK-47s fighting for dominion over dunes of sand, Holdfast pitches its conflict during the era of the Napoleonic Wars. Across snow, sand, soil, and sea, players don the contemporary uniforms of various line infantry classes to partake in hellish skirmishes of anywhere between 150 and 200 players. The concept, while comparatively polished and curated for a modern audience, dates back to a DLC expansion grafted from the esteemed Mountain Blade Warband in 2012. This was developed by Flying Squirrel Entertainment, some of whom would go on to form Anvil Game Studios and develop Holdfast, while others would remain to work on the tragically flatlining Over the Top. It was fun while it lasted, fellas. Holdfast, being the more modern descendant in this narrow niche, sports a graphical and technical fidelity that, while it certainly won't be winning any awards, does enough to draw the eye away from the jank and towards what you're actually there for. Excluding the other modes such as the Phantom of Over the Top and the maritime antics of Age of Sail, Holdfast's Army Front and Revolutionary War rely on already tried and true multiplayer formats: team deathmatches, territory capture, and offensive pushes. All of these are situated in vastly different locales. Sometimes you're fighting your opponent in open pastures surrounding a single outcropping of man-made structures. Other times you're navigating the tight corridors and ramparts of military fortifications such as Fort Willy. During a match such as this, you're not merely playing with keyboard inputs, but the sharpened edges of philosophy. Why did the British have a habit of naming things after their penises? Why did they ever stop? Perhaps the cessation of our phallic nomenclature for military installations is why we approach the precipice of societal collapse. But then, as you're pondering, you're stabbed by a Frenchman blaring Crazy Frog through his microphone, and you realise that collapse is already here. For you know the devil walks the earth, jacketed in the flesh of the French. Combat, on an individual level, is divided into 2 halves. Both are underpinned by the fundamental concept of clicking a button, limited only by a differing distance. The first, and the most common initial input of every respawned player, is the musket shot. You aim, fire, and prostrate yourself before God in the hopes the shot actually connects. Regardless of your accuracy, reloading takes a significant amount of time, which often leads to the second half of combat: melee.
Come on, Alexander. Come on, Alexander.
Stabs, cleaves, and blocks that aim to fell an opponent before they fell you. Unsurprising for a game in this period, the melee combat is often a focal point, and it is where I personally derive the most pleasure as a recovering addict to God's most punished game genre. Take, for example, the humble bayonet. From experience, it is a pretty deceptive range advantage, and often kills in a single hit. It is a weapon of predictable efficiency that makes it a valued tool. However, it can only stab up or down, making it just as predictable for an enemy to block and counter. A weapon such as a sword or axe can make use of all 4 directions, making them harder to anticipate, but less consistently kills the opponent. In a game of more focused fighting, this would be a little underwhelming, but in sizable brawls and even smaller group engagements, it works incredibly well to the benefit of a visual clarity. It makes you understand why Mountain Blade, a game also about large-scale conflict, ever designed combat to work in this way. Couple this with the inaccuracy of ballistic weaponry, and you have an exciting inverse to the established norms of the shooter genre. Melee is usually the exception to the rule, the last-ditch effort to escape the clutches of dog-water skill. But in Holdfast, melee is a valuable inevitability emerging just after a volley of musket balls. Do not mistake this for disregard of the ranged combat though, as they are both essential parts of the accomplished whole. Take for instance the recently departed Over the Top.
Like a coward. Attack the enemy, man.
In my time playing this game, although melee was touted as incredibly important, ranged weaponry dominated the battlefield. This isn't a complaint, of course, it makes sense. A game depicting the perils of trench warfare has to create the aforementioned perils, meaning ranged weaponry needs to be potent enough for trenches to ever be dug by the players. The accuracy and efficacy of conventional weapons affect the mode of play. In games where you can point and shoot with ease, you never really need to use a melee weapon, and it's why there is simply no block functionality in modern shooters. But, in HOLDFAST, the historical constraints of a Napoleonic War's arsenal are diegetic to the player's experience, which gives greater importance to a more interesting aspect of combat without making ranged gameplay redundant. One defining example is while muskets famously struggle at longer ranges, they unsurprisingly dominate up close. Turning a corner to brandish your blade just for them to take aim at you means you're gonna have to breakdance your way out of the gunfight you just brought a knife to. If the foe you charged is a carpenter class, meaning they have access to the all-reliable blunderbuss, they're going to blow out your blunderbussy. With this in mind, you see how the ranged weaponry ultimately gives shape to the experience. Yes, muskets will outclass any melee weapon up close, but they take a while to reload and you're guaranteed to die in a single hit when doing so. This means there's an incentive for organization, timing your volleys and the following reloads to drive back an advancing foe without opening yourself to a rush of blades. Subsequently, through incentivizing organization, the player understands their own impotence is remedied through industrial quantities of trial and error sourced from greater numbers. Classes such as officers and sergeants can make use of miscellaneous orders to confer small bonuses to accuracy, such as establishing firing lines for infantry to gather and fire. This means not only does musket fire keep games from becoming all-out brawls, but also makes use of the superior player numbers to best leverage an organized advantage over a disorganized foe. Conceptually. You see, dear viewer, what I have described to you is the Napoleonic utopia embedded at the center of each player's mind, a state of nirvana, comprised from a panoply of organized skirmishes made ever tantalizing by the numerous clips posted to the internet. But this is all a ruse, a deepfake, an AI's contextless misunderstanding of human interaction, a mirage that draws you deeper into the arid desert. The modern internet is besieged by the interminable scourge of a team-based shooter, the Counter-Strike fumbles, the Overwatch feat posts, the Marvel Rivals Fi gallery. I made the mistake of letting a friend drag me into a couple of CS2 matches, and for a game emphasizing the importance of coordination and communication, all I got were a bunch of disgruntled Balkanites who turned running down mid and dying into a part of the daily routine. Inquiring why they did this would be like asking a dog why it chases cars. It doesn't know why. It never will know why. All it knows is it has to. Plus, I'm woke. Who am I to question other cultures? Maybe craving death is an important aspect of Serbian life.
Oh, Elias, you poor bastard.
But here, in HOLDFAST, I do not even have the luxury of questioning because I am dead before the first syllables leave my mouth. HOLDFAST is a thoroughly casual game. In contrast to something like Squad, where defying squad cohesion equates to an abysmal experience measured only by the agility of its uninstalling, the most populated servers are inhabited by a pervasive callousness. Unlike the imprisoned denizens of team shooters, most of which play to satisfy the daily pattern of pretending it is still 2015, the ostensible mindlessness of HOLDFAST players is not born from denial, but actually an enlightened understanding. Of what, you may ask, donning the role of an intrepid philosopher? Oh, not much. Just perhaps the most bizarre jank yet to grace the computer screen. Sometimes my musket ball intermittently abides by a non-corporeal state and passes harmlessly through my target even at close range. My bayonet blocks are debated matters of consent, in which the attacking party, should it choose not to comply, will kill me anyway. These initial hours of bayonet battles were spent blocking left and right, places a bayonet cannot stab, because HOLDFAST does not stop to inform you of this at any point outside of two flimsy indications. The squad system is an Ouroboros of departure and arrival, where I join, die, subsequently leave, respawn, which means I leave, which means I join, which means I leave to join and join to leave, which means I close the fucking game. A whole update for cavalry may seem generous at first, but upon closer inspection, you realize this is a scathing piece of equine slander, alleging horses are so cumbersome and unresponsive that their enlistment in the army is an elaborate scheme to make early investments in Prit Stick, and, most loathsome of all, the invasion modes. Have you ever wondered why attackers have limited lives and defenders don't? This is because attackers actually have to prioritize the objective's capture and funnel resources into doing so. Anvil Games, in all their infinite wisdom, flipped the script and consequently made it illegible, because now the defenders will lose every time even if they hold the objective throughout, because they are at a terrible disadvantage in what is a battle of attrition. Questionable choices, questionably executed, emerging as a questionable experience.
And it's just you and me, bucko. He literally lagged behind me. What the fuck?
It is, quite positively, bizarre beyond conceivable reason, and yet, somehow, it endears itself to me in its dysfunction. In a game such as Squad, something demanding a large time commitment even for an individual match, these inconsistencies would be thoroughly annoying and ruin the experience. But in HOLDFAST, in these moments where human history is seized by an eldritch perversion of the known world, they are irksome and amusing in equal measure. The cultivated experience is more casual, more carefree, and the downtime between deaths is so minuscule that your demise is not much more than a mild setback. There is an odd level of joy in embracing the experience as you're cast adrift alongside numerous others, because it's as you're floating through the seas of HOLDFAST, rotating from one battlefield to the next, you realise that hardship builds character, and, this whole time, you have been surrounded by a cast of them.
What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is happening? Go, 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 go! Go, go, go! Major balls, there are Americans down there, man! Please, I surrender! No, don't surrender, they're gonna kill you, mate! No, shit!
On this holy platform we colloquially refer to as a channel, I have espoused many an opinion and theory about numerous games. Many have been heralded as the word of God, the closest we shall ever be to objective truth, and among my proclamations lies one of great importance. Multiplayer games are the people who play them. The reasoning makes sense. The players set the tone for a match's atmosphere, they form the groups that shape the norms, history and humour surrounding the game, and ultimately serve as its lifeblood. Without a single player mode, the trajectory and reputation of a prospective game, including the willingness people will have to engage with it down the line, is dependent on the community. Game community is often an oxymoronic term. It is a phrase synonymous with needlessly adversarial experiences. It describes a panopticon of social delinquents who begrudgingly accept the existence of others in their favourite game, not as integral components of the experience, but missing steps to be avoided.
Laser, no, don't kick this guy. Laser, you're not doing any better than him, bro. You're 10 and 14. Why are you trying to kick this guy?
In this world, it's clip or be clipped. So now, I'm gonna have to call you a racial slur. This sort of dysfunctional social brawling is often at the forefront of gaming communities.
You wouldn't even have it right now, so shut the fuck up, kid.
Hey, shut the fuck up yourself, you motherfucker.
Fucking
Welcome, Nestle.
We are inherently drawn to the negative, and the views it easily accrues, and, funnily enough, this was my initial experience with HOLDFAST. I watched this Stimpy video, HOLDFAST in 2026, and reached the conclusion in which this specific interaction occurred.
Shut the fuck up, brother. There's no time for talking, only time for war.
No, there is time for talking. I don't have to shut up because you tell me to. Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Nobody wants to hear you talk either. Remember how 3 days ago you got all you Australians want to shut the fuck up about soccer, and suddenly none of you guys have anything to say about it? Do you think we care? Yes, I think you care. You said nothing, and now you're getting on the mic to defend your soccer team. You suck. You lost. You lost. Your American kicked your ass. You lost. World Cup. You lost, bitch. I died. I died. Yeah.
What followed was an endless cascade of enraged screaming and maniacal laughter, continuing the American tradition of national humiliation they partake in with every election cycle. I found this amusing, and that very night, I purchased HOLDFAST to see what was going on. On my very first match, you will not believe who I stumbled into.
What the fuck? What the fuck is going on?
As amusing as this was, this undoubtedly encapsulated what I just mentioned. It was a thoroughly adversarial experience that beckoned the vitriol of many others, some of which just defaulted to the usual strategy of calling him slurs.
Okay, well, there's some guys being really horrible.
But don't worry, this wasn't just a British habit. As we both know, modern America was born from British tyranny, so this shit-slinging behaviour was passed down to the Americans, the same way one inherits a hereditary illness. The Revolutionary War mode is an exercise in resolving cultural differences. Through the cacophony of clashing steel and booming cannonades, you hear a war raging in the marketplace of free ideas, one side joking about American gun violence, while the other mocks the concept of British dental care. I callously mentioned how America lost the World Cup to Belgium, to which a brave American philosopher stepped forward with a witty repartee.
If I was a Yank, it would mean I'd have to lose to Belgium in football. That would be awful.
Hey, you know what else would be awful? Not being able to say
Man. They got me there. Lo and behold, in my second match on HOLDFAST, I saw a funky little group requesting people to sit down at their table. Exiled from the British team for reasons of maximum player count, I decided to humour their convening with my presence.
Oh, your username, I don't know if you're...
Salutations. I'm here to join the regiment.
We're pro-Christianity. Majority of us here are Catholic, but you don't have to be a Catholic to join. This is the majority of us are, and we kind of, support those principles. Number 2, we're against any form of supremacy, like Jewish and black supremacy. We believe everyone's equal. And number 3 is that we're pro-free speech, for the most pro-free speech regiment in all HOLDFAST. You can say whatever you want when it comes to religion, politics, beliefs, or saying certain things in game chat that can get you banned. We're 100% for that. No other regiment can compare to us when it comes to free speech. It's kind of our bread and butter over here.
Facts. I see. That's very interesting. I understand.
Now, I don't know about you, dear viewer, but there is something oddly humorous about that third rule of pro-free speech, even stuff you can be chat banned for, after just telling me a bunch of stuff that they don't allow to be said. That's odd. I thought we all got free speech to say whatever we wanted. And, I just so happened to notice, they're conveniently missing a pretty important third thing, which comes as no surprise when you hear what this guy had to say later.
Jews on the world. We got a lot of problems going on. We believe everyone's equal. We believe everyone's equal. We believe everyone's equal. Jews on the world.
Will you shut the hell up?
Some of you may believe I brought this up as a preamble to a community deep dive on bad behaviour, but, in truth, that's not why. Aside from a morbid fascination, and sometimes an important clarity for potential new players, I'm not about to wring my hands over some big-mouthed low-tier racists. I just made a video on Mordhau. The only thing upsetting me here is HOLDFAST's lack of creativity. No, dear viewer, I've laboured to mention this so I can illustrate something very important to HOLDFAST's appeal. This game is fucking hilarious.
I am from America. I love America.
After I absconded from the meeting, I decided to eavesdrop on whatever conversations would happen next. To the dismay of myself and the funky fellows camping outside the spawn, I was the only person willing to talk to them.
What's going on over here?
To see who's interested, we're recruiting for our regiment. Line, please.
Oh.
Yeah, so
They pleaded for people to sit and chat, managing to grab the attention of a few hapless players for all of a few seconds before watching them stroll off mid-sentence.
Hey, Phaser Glazer, you just took it to C, which means you're just joining a regiment. I'm just gonna ask you a few questions, see if you're fit or not to join this very elite regiment. You're gonna start the interview, yes or no, motherfucker. Next person, please.
thank you, sir.
He's walking away. It was honestly very hard to watch, haunting in a way only a specific brand of second-hand embarrassment can be. And this was just the beginning of the hilarity.
Playing, I was very interested. Oh! Hey, what the fuck, you killed the music guy?
HOLDFAST, as a game of large-scale combat, is built on a fundamental level for slapstick comedy. Oh! Perfectly timed moments where allies are unceremoniously killed right beside you, proximity chat that cuts off upon death, and a general sense of chaos that means something is always happening nearby.
There's a British guy aiming at us from the window. Oh my god.
This chaos is something you'll always notice upon spawning in. It's right in your ears from the very moment you grace the map. It's grating, it's deafening, and it's beautiful in a twisted way. Mic spam.
This is a lot.
A tried and true trope of internet community. Here's a pro tip. The P button lets you mute people. If you hear very loud music but have no clue who it is, mute anyone with TF as a clan tag. I guarantee you, it's always them.
It's always the fucking TF guys, man.
The prevalence of mic spamming is like discovering a fossil. It carbon dates back to online social conventions of old, indicating the advanced age of the HOLDFAST community. I highly recommend you pick the British team at every available opportunity because it manifests the greatest chances of social cohesion.
What do we think of America?
Shit!
What do we think of shit?
America!
It's alright. We're America, we're America, we're America.
People who are not British immediately don accents and speak in fancier vernacular, while middle-aged men take leadership positions to maintain valuable morale. This 45-year-old Mancunian still commits to the bit the old-fashioned way.
My George is better than your George!
What the fuck?
Fire and will for now! Push them back a bit and then we can bully! And then we can start. Make ready for your orders, gents! Gather it up, Get on the flag! When you charge, run past them and get off the flag!
Yes, sir! Yes, sir!
Make ready!
Go, 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 go! And in moments such as these, I discover that the old heads still fucking got it.
Lord, I've never seen such a fucking shit show. Fuck you, you inbred. Fuck you, Nags, your fucking sister, mate.
Why is he such an angry British man?
Exactly. Fucking retarded.
He sounds like he's 35 and got a salary, bro. What's he doing?
What started out as an assumed adversary ended up being one of the highlights of my time in this game. His quippy belligerence towards both the enemy and his own team came to inject a rush of newfound energy into a match we were practically destined to lose.
Gandalf, give us some commands, Gandalf. Tell us what to do.
Honestly, mate, it doesn't matter what we fucking do. It's gonna be
Why are you called Gandalf the Slay? What's the meaning of... Oh my god.
because Gandalf the Gay was taken.
Because Gandalf the Gay was taken.
What is that Yeah, 100%.
Just
Telling someone that their dad wanks on all fours is a
You know, I was just editing this part of a video, and I couldn't shake this, like, familiarity with a voice. I was like, he sounds so familiar to someone. Who is that? And then I had a friend who was in this session who sent me this DM, and it just makes so much sense.
Objects that I've shoved up my ass. Broomstick and...
Oh, he's dead again.
But make no mistake, dear viewer, while the mature denizens of the British Isles are leading the charge, youthful vitality remains ever present. My friends and I were playing the game together, suffering through the jank as we usually were, when we heard this illustrious singing from the front lines.
Oh, he's dead. Someone killed him. He's dead.
This was none other than a young Scottish lad we came to refer to as the Colonel.
About you now, you're my wonder.
A strategical mastermind, a valiant warrior, and the backbone of our fighting forces.
Back we go. Is he going back? What the fuck? He's swimming. Colonel, where are you going?
I'm not doing that.
We need to save them. Wait, are we just hiding in this house, Colonel?
Yeah, that's how the plan works.
I don't know if this is a good strategy, Colonel. Grenade, Colonel, grenade!
I don't know why like this. Must be boring this shit.
My friends and I trapped a random soldier in a checkpoint and let the Colonel intermittently administer psychological torture.
Colonel, we've trapped a man in the bathroom. He's not gonna leave for the whole game. No, Jagger, you cannot leave, my friend. You're stuck here. No, no, I don't think so, Jagger. Fucking hell.
Apologize now.
Yeah, apologize, Jagger. For insubordination. I feel like there's a guy at the back of our group who's masturbating. Did you hear that? What the fuck was that? What the fuck? He's jerking off. Jagger, look away. This isn't appropriate for you. Look away, Jagger.
Yes, you get some oaths here and there. I won't pretend otherwise. It becomes an increasingly redundant statement to even acknowledge this, considering how most multiplayer games are nowadays. It also runs the danger of occluding the best parts in the shadow of what have been, for me, anecdotal outliers. I believe these things are important to discuss and scrutinize, especially if there's an implicit recommendation embedded within the coverage, because this implies the sort of shape the community surrounding it has. Sure, you can mute people, and you often should, but some people fail to understand that deeper investment involves external forums and servers where you may repeatedly encounter the gross behavior a mute existed to moderate in the first place. That said, it's a delicate balance, because why should a negative minority deprive more than they already try to do by obfuscating the positive majority injecting life into the game? For a game so casual and almost carefree, it is a pleasant surprise to be more involving than experiences supposedly catering to intense teamwork, with a greater social component that satisfies both the human desire to connect as well as the repressed human desire to needlessly perish on foreign soil. If you're like me, someone happy to navigate these curious corners of the internet and interact with strangers during bouts of bloodshed, you may find HOLDFAST on sale an appealing option. But what if you're someone who strives to be the best? What if you're someone who wants to stand shoulder to shoulder with fellow countrymen and let loose volleys of fatal disdain? What if the mere idea of a historical line battle where coordination and communication are vital to success tantalizes you oh so deeply? Well, dear viewer, I may have exactly what you're looking for. There are many phenomena specific to British culture. Our youth are troubled and emerge from the womb wearing designer tracksuits and asking what your postcode is. Bacon sandwiches are colloquially referred to as bacon butties. The only political candidate to challenge Nigel Farage is a man with a bin on his head, and our city traffic is a complete nightmare.
You know what they say about people who live life in the fast lane, don't you? They do not live in fucking England!
Yet, the most British habit we share is our line-forming capabilities. Wherever we are, whatever we are doing, we organise ourselves into an orderly line and wait. It's civil, polite, and refined. So, is it any wonder that HOLDFAST appeals so directly to British sensibilities, hearkening us back to the days where we do battle in the neat and tidy arrangement of a simple line.
I'm doing good. How are you, Colonel? How are you? Oh, I'm good. I'm good. How are you? No, no. How are you? No, no. I insist. How are you?
What a marvellous day to be British.
Oh, I do say.
Bloody spectacular, if you ask me.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Line battles in HOLDFAST are special events hosted on an almost daily basis, where special game parameters are erected to structure more organised play. As a humble member of the line infantry, your job is simple. You move, shoot, and die at the command of the nominated officer.
Why did I die? Oh, for fuck's sake, damage reflection. Bro, he walked in front of me, that's so lame.
During the warm-up, you'll be spoiled for choice on where to go. Most columns formed are clan players, and the newbies, colloquially referred to as blueberries, will imprint upon one or the other before following suit. When the round commences and the infantry mobilise, it is divided into two sections. The first, spanning around 7 minutes, is the line battle phase. During this phase, ranged weapons are available for use, including a later introduction of artillery support that can only be fired when in a line formation. infantry columns dart between cover, shifting positions to try and get the best line of fire on the enemy before scurrying out into the open and firing, before retreating back into cover. These moments, where brigades of soldiers move through skirmishes to hunt each other down, are incredibly tense because of the battle's hardcore nature.
Oh shit, it's coming.
Oh, man down!
No, a personal grudge Gingy had.
Oh. Oh my god. Fucking hell!
If you die, you stay dead, which means poor positioning or timing can be a devastating blow for the mode's second phase, the all charge.
Am I the last one? Am I the last one? Am I the last one?
When the all charge sounds, all shooting is disabled, and both sides are expected to rush towards their nearest foe and engage in melee. Fighting multiple people is an almost a non-existent concept, especially when it often takes just one hit to kill, so suffering considerable casualties during the line battle means you're likely going to lose during the following brawl. The brevity of both phases means rounds are swift enough so those who perished right at the start aren't waiting forever, but not so fast as to squander the fun for those still alive. These line battles last for an hour, rotating through different maps for each round, and usually culminate in a goofy clash at the end. These line battles are the zenith of Holdfast's organised play, spotlighting the capacity the game has for something more purposeful while not alienating the casual aspects that are fundamental to its broader appeal. It is not an exclusively competitive battle, but a taster of what the more dedicated community has to offer. For some, this would understandably be the primary reason to play, and I would agree wholeheartedly. However, line battles are scheduled events that, while frequent, are not open all day. The demand for direct leadership from clan players and the direct moderation of invigilators means this is an active time commitment that can't be passively sustained like changing a few modifiers. This is all dependent on the involvement of the player. And that, dear viewer, is the beauty of Holdfast. I am part of the 44th Regiment of Foot, the sibling to the 44th Royal Anglian Regiment I play squad with from time to time. If you're a newbie looking to broaden your understanding of the game, these guys set up a ton of weekly events without any expected commitment to them. It's how I ever learned of the line battles in the first place. While the 44th do organise their own line battles in private events, the ones I recorded are not run by any clan. These are hosted on official servers by Anvil Games themselves, as part of an admirable and effective investment into the community. These advertised battles beckon new players, acquaint them with the more dedicated clan players, and then allow the clans to advertise themselves to the rookies that accompanied them throughout the event. By doing this, there are active opportunities for new players to ingratiate themselves to exterior communities and, ultimately, dedicate more time to the game, which maintains an appealing player count for fellow blueberries to be drawn in. And enlistment to regiments isn't just a matter of typing in a tag, it's integrated to Holdfast. There's a dedicated registry for clans that new players can search through and request to join. The 44th is just one of the many officially platformed by the developers. These efforts clearly pay off. Sure, Steam charts aren't exactly remarkable, but the console players pad out numbers to achieve pretty healthy figures on a daily basis. There are multiplayer games released in the last few years that have come and gone in Holdfast's lengthy lifespan. Just last year, Anvil Games shared a post commemorating 8,000 concurrent players, the equivalent of 40 full servers. The line battle represents a little more than just a redecorated high school dodgeball game. It is emblematic of a continuous, enduring, and rewarding investment. In my troubled youth, I wasted much of my time playing in clans on Halo.
Shut up, you little violent piece of shit. Stop what the fuck kind of shot is that? You shot me into the fucking middle of the air like a fucking retard. You suck dick. You suck dick. That's not what kind of fucking shot is that? That guy's one shot. I shoot a rocket.
That side of the community, while it has always existed, was never really officially acknowledged outside of repurposed emblem editors and tags. Since then, I don't think I've seen anything come close to such an official integration of the player-ran communities, and its existence alone is a very benevolent offering you don't see much of nowadays. Peering past the recent content updates of Holdfast, the minimum many other multiplayer titles fail to honor is leaving the tools for the players to use when their attention inevitably shifts elsewhere. It understands who is playing their game, who has been keeping it alive for all these years, doing so for long enough that many of their devoted players have advanced into new stages of their lives. In a time where multiplayer games are considered the meta for dodgy business practices, the revolving door of AAA price tags where what you enjoy is licensed for a limited time instead of really owned, HOLDFAST's persistence, sourced from community strength, is uplifting. At first, making a video on this felt dubious. It's a game I consciously know would piss me off without the bizarre social interactions nestled within. What would ever make it worth talking about? But, in hindsight, this salience was owed to that tried and true statement. Multiplayer games are the people that play them. For something as casual and simple and chaotic and sometimes confusing as HOLDFAST, I emerged from my 25 hours of playtime with the confidence that my investment was very well spent. The game is 50% off until the 3rd of August, so if you're even mildly intrigued, why not put down the MOBA you're about to abuse yourself with and enjoy something a little more carefree. But don't take my word for it. I'm a slimy little bitch, searching for purpose in meaningless things. Perhaps you ought to take the word of this intelligent gentleman from this stream encounter.
Nice drums playing, man. That's tragic. This game is something else.